out from under authority. They're on this path of destruction, and they don't know how to get back. They don't even know there is a way back. They don't even know there is a back. They don't know what being under authority means. Where the heroes are the renegades. They think this is how you're supposed to be. They think you're supposed to be out from under authority. That's where the action is. That's where the heroism is. That's where the accolades are. And there's enough bad examples out there to reinforce that kind of an attitude. Because the police mandate says that when a citizen steps out from under authority, it's our job to bring them back into compliance, to reel them back into compliance with the law. An interesting point is that the only officer that has the real power to do that is the faithful officer. You represent yourself to be one thing. You got the uniform on. You wear the badge. You got the patch on your sleeve. You represent yourself to be one thing, but we can look into your life and look into your attitude, and we can see that you are, in fact, something very different. Because the criminal knows that if he cannot defeat you on the streets, he will defeat you in the courts. And he knows that if he cannot defeat you in the courts, he will defeat you in the media. Those are the three deadly arenas: streets, courts, and media. We must win, and we must win decisively in all three of the deadly arenas. Winning on the street is no longer enough in America, folks. I told you the power for effective change rests within the relationships. Now we're talking about a relationship with authority. Power flows down the chain of command. All human authority is delegated authority. That's where the power comes from. If you step out and start representing your own ego, now you're depending upon ego power rather than lawful power of your authorities. You know, that's the way it's supposed to work. If all the layers of authority are lined up correctly, the one in authority should simply have to speak and it should get done. Problem is, it doesn't always work that way, does it? Because in real life, guess what? We got renegades at all these different levels in the chain of command. That's why the flow is broken. Because he understood that the only time he had any right to speak into the life of anybody else, the only time he had any right to impose any obligation on somebody else to tell them what to do or how to live their life is when he himself was lined up under his authority. Because that's where the power came from. And the minute he steps out, he loses that. He gives up his ethical ground to stand on. And folks, we do this every day. It amazes me how quickly and how easily we give up our ethical authority in law enforcement. I have all of the ethical ground necessary to conduct this lawful traffic stop, and I'm about to give it away. Because I said so, that's why, and just that quick I gave it all away. I gave it all away because I said so. That's why. Got nothing to do with me. Got nothing to do with me at all. I just took a lawful stop and turned it into an ego battle. And I really believe this. I believe that I could get you up to about a 95% compliance rate if I could just get you and all the other officers out there to answer the question why properly. I take my ego and take it away. Set it aside just for a minute. Like we all have egos. This is an ego-rich profession, right? We know that. I'm not telling you to get rid of your ego. You can't. I'm saying set it aside just for a moment so it doesn't get in the way of you doing your job and accomplishing your lawful professional objectives. The policy says so. You see, you just appealed to a higher authority, the policy. Do you really want to physically struggle with this person? Is that in your best interest to have a physical struggle before the end of the shift? Think about the paperwork you got to fill out. All right? I don't know about you. I don't want anybody's body fluids anywhere near me anymore. All right? I'm really hinky about this stuff. So I don't really want to go physical if I can help it. It's in his best interest to comply. It's in my best interest if he does. All I have to do is become a little bit more skilled in how to do this from a principled approach of good character.